Hello and welcome back to the Lumin Weekly Q&A. Here we are, on the couch again with some terrible hair. I washed it, okay? I washed it and that was a bad idea. At least I know tomorrow morning it'll be okay. Because usually, if you wash it in the evening, you go to sleep, the next morning wake up, you shower or something, and then you don't wash it when you shower then, because there's no reason. What did you actually do? You got in bed and you slept. That's about it. It's not going to be dirty. No. What kind of pillow do you sleep on? So, it'll be much better tomorrow morning. I promise. I guarantee you that. So if I happen to take a photo of myself tomorrow, it'll look amazing. But, I'm actually recording this like literally an hour before my birthday. If any of you were wondering, I was born in 1985. You can work that out if you like. Or not, because it's pretty embarrassing. You can start calling me Uncle Lumin soon. And then, in maybe a couple of years, you can call me Grandpa Lumin. I'm joking. I'm not that old. But still. Birthday tomorrow. I thought I'd just tell you about that now because I'm not going to record a separate vlog just to talk about that. I'll just put it right here. Straight up. Tomorrow my parents are coming. That's my mother and my father. There are two of them. No more than two. My sister, her husband, and their son. And myself and Eileen. And Nero. They're not bringing their dogs with. That'll get too chaotic. But we're going to be here, and we're going for lunch at 12:30 at a place which is pretty close by. I don't know if you could call it a seafood place, but they sell pretty much everything. We usually go for like this Asian noodle kind of thing, sweet and sour pork noodles or something. That's what we usually go for there because it tastes so nice. I don't get sushi there, they make sushi as well. But anyway, we're going for lunch there. Coming back, we're having pumpkin pie because Eileen's making pumpkin pie and that's amazing. It's amazing. She's made it once before. And it was so good that I told her that, you know, you're gonna have to make again. And now, like almost a year later, I found an excuse. Because if I ask her to make me pumpkin pie for my birthday, she has no choice but to make it. So she's going to, tomorrow. And that's gonna be great. Super, super keen for that. Anyway, that's what's happening. And the upload situation is looking pretty good. I've got a whole bunch of stuff uploading. Including 110 minutes of Skyrim, which is intense, okay? Both the fact that it's 110 minutes long and the size of the actual video. So it's gonna take me like, probably 48 hours to upload. Okay, probably 48 hours, and there's not much I can actually do about that. But I've planned it out that I'll have at least 3 or 4 videos, this one and a few others, to have going up before then. So I'll queue all of them up, have that at the end of them, and then that'll go up, and then those, while that's uploading, will go up periodically. So that's cool. I've got that planned out. And, oh, before I forget, I received some mail today, and it was from a certain young lady. I don't want to spoil it because there's something in the mail that needs to be read or mentioned or spoke about that I don't want to spoil. That's actually all I'm going to say. I don't want to say anything else because it's pretty sensitive. I do need a little bit more information from said lady. I couldn't find her in my subscriber list because I couldn't read some of the handwriting in the letter that she sent. I'm really bad at reading, but Eileen's pretty good and she couldn't really figure it out either. It wasn't bad, she wrote really well, but some of the parts I just couldn't make out. Now because of that, I want to contact her. She sent some things for Nero in the package. So if you are watching this, young lady, contact me. Because I can't find you. I'd like to just speak to you about what you wrote there to make sure I know exactly what I'm saying. Because it's important. That said, there'll probably be a new mailbox soon, if I do sort that out. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But, right now we're going to jump into the questions. There's actually so much going on at the moment, and there's Guild Wars going on over there, which I'm just not taking part in because I'm doing this right now, and that kind of makes me sad. Still, first question, from SuperGhost6. Is that a Razor Caracarusis in the background? I don't know how to say that name, I'll just say it like that. Or am I blind? Oh, it is. Oh, it is. There you go. Razor Caracas. Sis. That's what I use right there. And it's nothing special. Okay, so if I had to give you a quick 40-second, I don't know why 40 seconds, that's a very random number, but a quick review of it. I would say the sound quality is decent. The mic is incredibly good for a headset mic. I think you'll get better sound quality on perhaps a Sennheiser or something, but it's definitely better than a SteelSeries mic. And the sound dampening is not very good, but that's actually one thing that I like. Personally, I like being able to hear what's going on. I don't want it to cancel out all the sound around me. So for me, it's perfect. I'm looking for some in-ear headphones or earphones. They're called earphones, not headset. Earphones, so that it's less confusing when I record Let's Plays or whatever with the face cam, because people sometimes think, I've actually received quite a few comments of people like, hey, why is his mic up? Why is the sound quality so good, yet his mic is up above his head? Because I obviously leave it like that, with the mic on the side there, and that's confusing to some people. And, well, geez, what's the point of wearing such a huge thing if I don't need to record with it? Anyway, unimportant. You were right. You weren't mistaken. Then, next question. From Eminem versus me. Hi Lumin, are you looking forward to Starbound, the next game from the Terraria development team? Yes. I think it's only a couple of people from the team, but I'm super keen for it. I'm not sure exactly how deep the rabbit hole goes, but it seems like they've just added so many cool features to that game. So many. They have little aspects of all sorts of different games in there, including Terraria and Minecraft, but things like from Pokemon, and there's this whole random factor of the game, and interplanetary travel, and I don't know. I'm not really that clued up on everything that's going on with Starbound, but I do look at all the screenshots that get posted on Twitter, the little videos that they've shown off. The game looks great. I will definitely do something with it when it launches. Then, next question. There were a couple of interesting questions here, and the Guild Wars ones are like mixed up in between here. There were a few about, I'm not going to talk about, I was going to say there were a few about my worst games ever, and I'm so bad at answering those. I'm just terrible at answering them. I don't know why. Oasis. Mineral water. This is actually tap water. And I put it in the bottle to make it taste better. Because everyone knows, if you drink it from an Oasis bottle, it's going to taste like Oasis water. You heard that here. So, let's see. Hey, would your name in Guild Wars 2 happen to be Lumin? Or is it something else? Thanks, I really enjoy your content. Keep it up. This is from Spine Removal Society. That doesn't sound like a very nice society. Okay. I don't know if I like it. And yes, my nickname in Guild Wars 2, Lumin. L-U-M-I-N. Amazing! I don't know how I got it. I've said this like 1,000 times, but I'm super happy that I got it. And I've said like 1,000 times that I wanted Juniper as well, but I didn't get that. Still though, very cool. Anyway, this one, very interesting. So, this is from Zidana123. Why do you think BioShock 2 was terrible? So, I played a lot of BioShock 1, and compared to BioShock 2, now, compared to 2. And I felt that BioShock 1, right from the start, it was gripping. They open it in such an epic way, okay? Now, I'm not saying the start of BioShock 2 wasn't gripping or epic or whatever, but it just didn't have the same feel. So, my issues with BioShock 2, the game isn't terrible, I'm sure the game's actually pretty good, but I felt like, firstly, okay, the first thing that I had was that it wasn't really that new to me. Going into BioShock 1, and I guess I just said it was terrible or bad compared to BioShock 1 in my opinion, because in BioShock 1 it was this whole new underwater city that you were exploring, you were seeing this whole place for the first time, but in BioShock 2 you were arriving in the same place, and it felt like it was just the same thing again, but perhaps the story just didn't unfold quick enough. Maybe BioShock 2 is the type of game that really starts ramping up really slowly from the start, and it takes a couple of hours to get to the meat of the story. Maybe I didn't play it, because I didn't finish BioShock 2, I must tell you that right now, but maybe I didn't play it long enough for it to actually grip me and get interesting. But I felt like the sense of adventure was much greater in BioShock 1 going into it. Maybe I'm just jaded and I am desensitized by the fact that I've played a whole bunch of games, but this was a while ago, and I suppose I was actually finishing single-player games at a much higher rate back then. I just think that because of the whole new thing going into BioShock 1, it was much more exciting to me. And BioShock 2 didn't really have that. But I suspect it's because I didn't play far enough into BioShock 2. I heard people saying that they preferred the way that BioShock 2 ended over the way BioShock 1 ended. I know how BioShock 1 ended, but I didn't think it was amazing or anything. But if that's the case, maybe BioShock 2 only picks up steam much later on in the story. I don't know. You could tell me that. Do you guys think BioShock 2 was better later on? Do you think it started off slow? Maybe I just wasn't interested enough right from the start. Because I definitely was in BioShock 1. It just felt like the mystery was gone come BioShock 2. Maybe because it was a couple of years later, I just had lost interest in the idea. I don't know. I'm super keen for BioShock Infinite though. Interesting ideas there. I'm not sure about the gameplay, but I like the setting and I like the characters that they've set up so far. So we'll have to wait and see. Next question. What are your and Helene's favorite games? This is actually very good. The one game you can fire up every year and enjoy every time as much as the first, or even if you don't replay it so often. The one that stuck with you for the years. This is going to be such an easy one to answer for me, but for Helene a little bit different, I suppose. I'm going to answer it for her because I feel as if I know. The one that you'll never forget. Okay, so this hasn't been asked before. This is from Talugi88. Very good question. So for me, that game is really easy. It'll be Quake. Okay, Quake 3 Arena, and I suppose it's now transitioned into Quake Live, but I haven't really been going back to it that often. The thing is, I've still got Quake 3 Arena on my PC. Quake 3 Arena, the original, well, I do play OSP mod, but still, I've got Quake 3 Arena on my PC, and I've got Quake Live, and I still prefer Quake 3. It just feels much more solid than Quake Live. It feels like a real game. You can feel, after playing Quake 3, that Quake Live is a browser-based game. But that's the one game that I can always go into, and even if I play for like 2 minutes, I enjoy every second of those 2 minutes. It's amazing. It is so, so good. Now you say about finishing it and playthroughs and stuff. I suppose that doesn't really apply to a game like Quake, but I feel that because this would be my answer, it's the most definitely the most truthful one, that's it. I would always be able to go back to Quake and enjoy every second of it. The only thing is I don't really like Quake Live that much, and I suppose I haven't put the hours into it yet to feel comfortable playing it yet. And that's something I can rectify if I want to, but I'm just hoping that something better comes out eventually. I've been waiting for quite a few years and still nothing. Now for Helene. Okay, her favorite game right now, it's pretty obvious. It's Guild Wars 2. And she's going to be playing that for a good long time. And I would say that that's going to be her favorite game forever. Okay, for a long time at least. Till the next time you ask this question. And I suppose that would have been a different answer a while back. But if I had to choose one game that she always goes back to, I'd say it's The Sims. Over the years that I've known Helene, that's the one game that's never left her life completely. A new expansion comes out, and then she's like, oh, this looks amazing, but she doesn't play it immediately, okay? Then a little while later, maybe it goes on special somewhere, she picks it up, she plays it for a while, she enjoys every moment play. Don't listen to anyone that says they don't enjoy playing Sims. She enjoyed playing Sims, and she'll play it again. The Sims 3 will come out or is it The Sims 3 or Sims 4, Sims 5, whatever. Another Sims will come out in a couple of years and she'll play that one too. Believe you me. Regardless of what else she's playing. But I'd say that would be the answer, the one game that she'd always go back to and she'd enjoy playing always. Right now it's Guild Wars though, because she spends all her free time on that. Next question. Swen, could you get Helene interested in a weekly cooking vlog on this channel? Healthy cooking for gamers, South African style. Please make it happen. This is from Minkanu. Minkanu. I'm bad at names. So, that's a really interesting idea. I don't generally like committing to something like that, but as you say, if I could get Helene interested in it, I can tell her like, oh well, the revenue you get from that video can be yours alone. There you go, straight up. But, I don't know. Okay, I don't know if she'd be up to something like that. Maybe in the future sometime. But I really like the idea, okay? We were actually discussing having her do stuff that's maybe art related for the channel. But we're not sure about stuff like that yet. okay? Because the way the channel's set up now, I suppose I definitely have room for stuff like that. Because I do everything. I do all sorts of games, I do vlogs, I do the Q&As, I do news, I do everything. So I don't think anything like cooking or art would be out of place on my channel. So that said, it can definitely fit, it can definitely work, and we'll definitely look into it. Great idea, thumbs up. Now, do you think you'll ever enjoy playing a Guardian in Guild Wars 2? I recently made one and I'm loving the great sword skills, and I'm specking into the symbol skills that you get because I love the idea of putting magical symbols on the ground and hurting enemies all the while helping your allies. I love helping allies. This is from Killerstick 1, and well, I can't say I haven't, I can't say I wouldn't play any of the classes. Right now, no. The other classes don't interest me at the moment. I'm enjoying Engineer. Nero's busy walking out the room now. He's like, Daddy, I've had enough of your Q&A. You're talking too much. And he's having a sip of water now. Wow, what a handsome guy. Even when he's drinking water, so handsome. But, would I play Guardian? I would. I'd play any of the classes. I actually tried Mesmer out, but right now I'm going to stick with Engineer as long as I possibly can till I don't enjoy it anymore, which will probably be never because there's so much to do. I just prefer playing one character, getting to know it so well that I can play it in my sleep. That's the way I want to play Guild Wars. I want to play on my one character, enjoy my one character, and just, that's it. So, I do like the look of the other classes, all of them. They all look fun. But Engineer's the class for me. Then, are there any games other than BioShock 2 which you really didn't like? Are there any you would genuinely... Oh wait, did I just miss one? No, I didn't. Are there any you genuinely suggest people not to play? Also, do you have any smaller games you would recommend people to play if they get the chance? For Nero, this one... Okay, I'm gonna first answer that first question, or the first set. So, I said at the start, I can't really answer that because generally, nowadays, at least for the last couple of years, I've managed to stay away from bad games. And the way I do that, total biscuit. Straight up, there you go. Use WTF videos. They generally keep me away from the bad games. But other sites and stuff, they also help out. If a game gets a really terrible review, then I'll just steer clear of it. Okay? Some games I'll play regardless of their review if I like the idea or whatever. But because of that, in recent years, I haven't really been exposed to that kind of game. And a couple of years ago, perhaps, but I can't remember. I've got such a terrible memory that I just can't remember if I played a bad game. I don't know. And I played so many games, it actually probably comes down to that. But the second part of your question, I can actually answer. Smaller games, I would say go to a site like GOG, pick up games like, and I don't know if these are really smaller because these are epic. Just straight off the top of my head, things like the Baldur's Gate series. These are slightly older, and I know the Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition is coming out soon. Amazing. The Ultima series, the Final Fantasy series. Those are series of games that I feel everyone out there should play, or should have played at least at some point in their life. Icewind Dale series, Planescape Torment. Such good games. The Fallout games, the older ones. Now, I'm mentioning a whole bunch of retro games here. I think there are even more, like, really good games that are coming out now, indie games, stuff like that, but I would always be an advocate for playing older games. I'd always say go back and enjoy the classics, because if people play these games, spread the word about these games, maybe devs will make more games like those games. That's it, that would be so good. So I'd point you towards those games. GOG.com, such an amazing place to pick them up. Check it out. They've actually got a special on this weekend on strategy games. If you're interested, go look. Then, for Nero, does he like other dogs, or is he quite territorial with other dogs nearby? So, it's funny. When it comes to his place, his space, this is his couch. He's got a bed in the room. It's his bed. His pillows. Things like that. He doesn't really like, he doesn't even like other people except for myself and Eileen. But strangers invading this space, same for dogs, he doesn't get angry. He does quite the opposite. He gets incredibly excitable. He does this little squirmy thing, and he just gets like, it's as if he goes into like hyper happy mode when they come close. It's as if it's like a defense mechanism where he's trying to be super cute and keep them away. But when it comes to being out and about, if I go for walks with him and stuff, he's incredibly sociable. He's a really nice guy with other dogs, but the second they make like the slightest little growl, he flips. He doesn't like it. He does not like that one bit. And I don't know if it's to protect us. He's like, Daddy, this is not good. This dog is angry. This dog is really naughty. I don't want him anywhere near us. I don't know if it's that, but he's very protective when they are the ones to pick the fight. Then he gets super angry and, you know, that kind of thing. But overall, he's a very good-natured dog. Probably the best-natured dog I've ever seen in my entire life. And the most handsome. There you go. Next question. This is from Bad Guy. What was it like to live in South Africa when you were young? Have you always played games, or did you tend to go to do other activities like outdoors or play with Legos or whatever? When I was younger, video games were not as popular as they are now, and I tended to play with physical toys like action figures and Hot Wheels. This is very interesting. I love this question. What are your opinions on the amount of time young people spend playing games, browsing the internet, and doing stuff like that? 5 hours a day on average. What? Is that a fact? Do you think that this has a negative effect on them? So, let me start at the end and say, I don't think it has a negative effect, but I think it depends firstly on what they do, and secondly on the amount of parental guidance involved. Now let's go back to the start again. When I was growing up, when I was a little child, we didn't have things like computers. We got our first computer when I was like 11, 12, 13, something like that. I'll tell you now, myself and my sister, my parents, we grew up on farms. Okay, well, I don't know about my parents specifically, but myself and my sister, we were on farms from when we were born till when we were about 13, 14, like around there, okay? Mid-teens. We always lived on farms. We were never anywhere in a town or city or anything like that. We always lived far out on a farm. We always had to drive a whole bunch of kilometers to get to the school in the morning, which was like a 40-minute drive or whatever. We always lived far out on a farm somewhere. Well, not always far, but we always lived on a farm. And because of that, we didn't have internet, firstly. No internet there. We always played outdoors. I was incredibly active. My sister was incredibly active. We built hideouts. We went exploring. We went and got lost in the forest. That happened. That was a thing. Okay, more than once. More than once. We were out. Okay, we were doing children things. We were playing with the animals on the farms, chasing the sheep around. We actually, I'm pretty sure that myself and my one cousin, me and my cousin actually tried to like get on the back of a sheep and ride it once. That was so bad. That was such a bad idea. We fell off so quickly, and we got hurt. But we did that kind of stuff. I never grew up with computers. I never grew up. We didn't watch movies. We watched some TV in the evening, maybe, whatever, stuff like that, because we didn't have any cinemas nearby. But we had that kind of life growing up. Very outdoorsy, very active. I never wore shoes. I think for the first 16 years of my life, the only time I ever wore shoes when it was when I had to wear them to go to school. When I got home, I kicked the shoes off and I was barefoot, out. But that's it. Then, when we were indoors, we played board games, we had Legos, we had lots of Legos, okay? Big thing for us. I loved Lego. And that kind of stuff. We always had friends come into the farm, we did things with them, but it was always outdoors and stuff like that. And growing up, I think when we got our first computer, it was like a 386 or a 486, and the first games we got, as I said before a couple of times, was this disc with Ultima 7, Savage Empire, Ultima Underworld, a whole bunch of really good classics, and I feel that that was an incredibly good place to start for us. I remember getting Little Big Adventure at some point, the first one. We got this Kyrandia series, which was like this point-and-click adventure game. A whole bunch of really cool games, okay? But that only happened later in our life, and everything before that was physical activity, outdoorsy stuff. So, and I suppose we were privileged enough to have that, to be able to live on farms. Because it was great. It was really, really cool. Swimming in dams. making little slides down the damn walls. We did that kind of stuff as well. Anyway, but I would say that, oh, and for the physical toys thing, we didn't have that many toys, but we had quite a bit of Lego. So that made up for it, definitely. Because my parents actually like Lego as well. They would spend all the time building it with us. And if I have a child, I'll definitely spend time building Legos with him. Or maybe Duplos first, then Legos. So, my opinion on people spending time playing or games or browsing the internet, I have seen it having a detrimental effect on the youth before. But I think that it all comes down to the parents. They mustn't handle it in a way that it's seen as a negative thing. Okay, because some parents look down on their children, or not look down on their children, but sort of scold them for playing too much PC. If your child grows up doing something like that, then, and it's not like a foreign thing that's like forbidden in the house or something, then, I don't know, I think it can be a really good thing. I think that being exposed to computers and technology at a young age is amazing. Did the lights just flicker? My PC's still on, that's fine. Okay, we've had lots of power dips recently. And we've got surge protected plugs. But anyway, I think that it can be good, but I think it comes down to the parents actually controlling it. And I suppose, I'm not the kind of person who'd say like, you know, having your children play a violent game is bad for them. No, that all depends on their upbringing. I think all of this is completely dependent on the child involved, the child that we're actually talking about here, because I think some children will handle it differently depending on how they were brought up and how their parents deal with things like this. So I know I'm talking in circles here, but I suppose the long and short of it is just that it is very dependent on who's actually doing it. I don't think it's bad. 5 hours a day sounds a little bit extreme, but I would say a little bit less is probably good, but I don't think it's bad. I think that doing stuff like that can be educational. It depends on what you expect or you think your child is going to be doing in the future. I think if children are exposed to this at a young age, it opens a lot of doors up for them, especially considering where we are headed at the moment. Because we are headed in that direction, with everything evolving in such a way that it's going to require someone that's tech savvy to be able to handle it and to be able to thrive in our community and to be able to make a life for themselves, that I think it's actually a good thing for them to start young. But again, it all comes down to the parents. So if you have a young child, it comes down to you to educate them in the right way, to get them started in the right way, and that's that. I guess. I hope that myself and Eileen will be able to do it properly when the time comes. I think we will. But it's going to take a lot of work, I guess. So anyway, that's that. Hey Lumin, how many clicks with a mouse can you do in 10 seconds? This is such an arbitrary thing. Currently the world record is 121, and in school I did 123. There's this guy on YouTube who I saw do 137, and he looks like he's in his early 30s, and I'm only 13. I'll be making a YouTube video soon showing how fast I can click, and when I'm good or old enough, I'll try to set a new world record. If you want to try, just type in world's fastest clicker, Guinness World Records. This is from Killerstick 1 again, and that's weird, okay? Clicks, like, I don't know, 20 times? I can't click that fast. I don't know. I actually Googled it, and I saw that he did it with like 3 fingers, and he was like, or something like that. And no, I don't know, why would I want to do that? I don't see, that's like the most pointless record ever. I don't know, I just don't see the point, but it is very cool, okay? That's a lot of clicks in like 10 seconds. I don't even see that, it's like 1.37 clicks per second. I suppose it makes sense. If you click all 3 of your fingers on one button, it makes sense. But no, I can't click that much. So good luck to you trying to break that record. That's cool. I mean, I like that you striving to break world records, especially at such a young age. Then, next question. Hey Lumin, if you could read a Wikipedia article from 15 years in the future, which would it be? Timu, Super Tamuki. That's actually just Timu. I'm gonna need a drink for this. That is so difficult. So I would say that the most interesting articles... I need more. That's how intense this question is. I'll start with just analyzing this. I'll say the most interesting articles 15 years from now would be the ones that include technology-based stuff. So I want to see, you know what I would say? Just I would want to read the Wikipedia article about the Half-Life game series. I want to know if Half-Life 3 will be out in 15 years. My goodness. Or, if I'm on a gaming related note, I want to see the Final Fantasy wiki and see within the next 15 years how many more of those games they can pump out. That would be amazing. Final Fantasy 37. Okay. So, other than that, what I think would be genuinely interesting would be something political, but at the same time, I would like to look at the zombie apocalypse wiki. I'd like to see if it's happened. But I don't know. If you want to think about it in that way, if you now in the year 2012, looking forward to the year 27, right? Yes. Then you'd want something that'll be interesting, that'll give you some insight into what's going to happen in the next 15 years. So my whole political thing would probably be good. What I would want to see is the wiki page on global warming. But do I want to see that? Is there going to be a wiki page on global warming? Is the world still going to be existing then? Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be, because people find a way. But that would be so interesting. I would want to see a wiki page on space travel, if there's such a thing. I don't know if there's a wiki page dedicated to space travel, but I'm sure that if there is one right now, it'll say that Curiosity landed on Mars. But I'd like to see in 2027 what has happened. Do we have a space station up yet where people can go? How far have we gone? Have we found extraterrestrial life? That's what I want to see. Just because I'm curious about that kind of adventure stuff. Okay? That's what I want to see. So, there's another one about Guild Wars 2. Will the meetups for the Illuminati always be in the middle of the week? It's hard for us Americans to try and get a free space at noon on Tuesday. This is from Madara Fanboy 804. No, we can actually have 2 or 3 meetup days a week, starting when all the bugs and stuff are fixed. We wanted a little period of time where people could just play, get to know the members of the guild, stuff like that, before we started the regular meetups. But we actually having something on Sunday if you guys are interested. I think the post was like literally just set up now. We're gonna have a hide and seek event. I think it's gonna be in Ebonhawk. So you better level those characters. You need to be at least like level 25 to 30 or higher to participate properly, at least. But we're gonna try have different days. If I had to guess, probably something like... Actually, I can't guess. There'll be at least one on the weekend, at least one in the week, and then maybe another one somewhere in between. But we're going to definitely try cater for the American crowds, the Australian crowds, the people in the different time zones, by having it at different times of day and on different days. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Put it from your mind. Enjoy the game for what it is. Amazing. So, here's another one. What's your all-time favorite game? Both regarding gameplay, storyline, graphics, character, and all that. And why? These are all from Flying Just to Fall. Okay, there's a bunch of questions here. Let me answer that first. Quake 3. Story, nothing. Who cares? Gameplay, the best ever. Ever. But I would be lying if I said it was something else. If I had to choose an RPG, then I'd probably go with something older like Baldur's Gate, Planescape Torment, Ultima 7, Final Fantasy 7. I don't know, something like that. Final Fantasy 8 was amazing too. But I would say if I had to choose one game, it would be Quake. Sorry. I know a lot of people are probably disappointed in that, but Quake 3 is so good. So good. Then, what's your favorite game genre? Funny. Oh, and why Quake 3 is good, I think I explained that before. It just feels good. It's purely skill-based. I can spend hours and hours just playing against bots if I wanted to, and I'd still enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Anyway. Oh, and it has a very high skill ceiling as well. That's very fun. That makes it much more fun. What's your favorite game genre? And do you have one, or is it just something with adventure and fighting? Indiana style. I would say RPGs, or a broader RPG, like MMORPG is fine, RPG is fine, RTS RPG fine. Something with role-playing game in it, that would probably be my favorite. Sure, something adventure-based. Even I'd go as far as to say point-and-click games are fun as well. But I just like something, actually the way you explained it was perfect. Something with adventure. Something with excitement. I don't really have a favorite. I mean, I played so much Warcraft 3. Custom games, 1v1s, 2v2s, stuff like that. Proper Warcraft 3, not Dota. And it was at a point probably my favorite game as well. So there you go. Warcraft 3, proper games versus other players. The thinking games. Not that Dota junk that people are addicted to nowadays. Not that I have anything against Dota, actually. I just like calling it junk. Because it provokes all kind of things. So, next question. I like these questions. Oh, what? This is the end. These are the last questions. I better make them count. Okay. So. And why? Also, you seem to be having a very much fun look at life. So I want to ask, what are your favorite movies? Of course, there's got to be more than one, and sometimes movies say a lot about people, at least in my opinion. So, favorite movie, Blade Runner. Probably Blade Runner. That movie is so good. If you haven't seen Blade Runner yet, watch it today. Well, if you can't watch it today, go find it somewhere, rent it, buy it. It's probably really cheap. Download it. There's a remastered version. I don't even care. I'll promote piracy just this once so you can get to watch Blade Runner. It's amazing. The way they set up sci-fi in that movie was just out of this world, crazy good. Harrison Ford is amazing. In his youth, he was one of the best actors out there. In his old age, he's even better. Watch it. Other movies I liked, Fifth Element was really good. More recent, I liked, well, more recent, man, I'm living in the past. Troy was amazing. I'm a Brad Pitt fanboy for life, okay? I love Brad Pitt. Almost every single movie that guy's in could be one of my favorite movies. I will not be able to remember my favorite movies because there are a lot of them. I like a lot of movies, but I would be able to say my one favorite movie is Blade Runner. So that's actually probably a better answer than you expected, but Blade Runner, too good. Watch that. Troy was super fun as well, if only because of Brad Pitt. Not Orlando Bloom, Brad Pitt. Other movies? The Indiana Jones series, most definitely. I don't think I need to mention that because it was really good. The Die Hard series was lots of fun. Stuff like that. You know? Stuff like that. Then. He says his favorite movie is V for Vendetta. And that reflects pretty good, I suppose reflects his personality pretty well. If I could have any life I wanted, it would be like V. Really? Really? I mean, he had a life, I would say, definitely worth living, but that's a strange place to want to put yourself. This is actually the last question, so I'll just procrastinate on it for a little while. If I had to put myself somewhere, I would once again just say Blade Runner looked like the perfect place because of the opportunities there. I mean, I hope I got all these questions now, but I gotta say, you guys did really well. I was expecting this to be an all-time low for questions because of the launch of Guild Wars, but color me impressed. Color me impressed. What time is it? Is it my birthday yet? No, that's only in 15 minutes. But that's gonna be it for this video. Check back here soon for more. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. I apologize for the lack of content on the channel, but it's going to be ramping up quite significantly. I just had to prepare a lot of stuff. Rendering Skyrim for the 110-minute Skyrim video took 8 hours. Probably the longest rendering I've ever done. And it only took much longer because I had to render the face cam in there as well. So that just adds a lot extra onto that. But I did a lot of preparation stuff. So the next couple of days will definitely be busy on the channel. Look forward to that. Please do. But again, that's it for this video. Check back soon for more. Most importantly though, happy leaving those questions. You can leave them as comments, email them to talesoflumin@gmail.com, or message them to me right here on YouTube. The email and message probably better, but I do take all the questions from the comment section because why not? Why the heck not? You can leave questions to me about games, about life and stuff, about the weather, about Helene. I love answering questions about Helene, about Nero, anything. I don't even care. But again, check questions for most importantly though. Happy leaving those questions. Happy that.